Hey, let's do a themes check-in for July 2023. This is where I kind of look at my overall themes for the year, and I look at start looking at what I've done in the month. I'll probably do my wrap-up video for the month tomorrow. That's my goal. Anyways, we'll see. But yeah, let's go into the themes and goals. This is a fairly short video because I'm just kind of touching on everything. So themes and goals for 2023. Number one is deepening, which is basically kind of trying to focus and get more into projects that I'm already working on. And the next one is perspective, getting out of the self. And maybe I've got an addition for that one. Getting out of the self for this month. Maybe I do. So yeah, deepening. This breaks down into categories. Number one was physical, which is, keeping up with my back exercises, walking, swimming, trying to work on my diet, especially, work on my sleep. I tried to keep on, having naps during the month, little 20-minute naps, especially when it's tired days. Some I did, some I didn't. It was a busy, especially this last week was a busy week, but I did get some in, and that was definitely helpful health-wise, I think. Number two is relationship with Ja, which is talking with Ja in the morning without, kind of all the media and stuff like that. I've got walk with Ja. It's not so much a thing. Trying to find a weekend activity to do with Ja. She's actually just kind of recovering her own health at the moment, so that's probably not going to happen, but it's always it's definitely a worthwhile thing to think about each weekend. It's like, is there a chance here for us to kind of just kind of do something? Because that is really a good thing to remind ourselves that, hey, we're married and we love each other and we like spending time with each other. Number three is YouTube. 2 public videos a month on focused topics or whatever interests me. This has actually been going well because it intersects with the next one, which is vocal skills and presentation skills, which I've been trying to make my vocal videos very practical videos. And there's been a number of them that I have actually published. I have a couple that are just sort of lurking around my public channel that are privated at the moment, which I might indeed make public. And that's good. I think it's good to try and keep that public face operational, vaguely alive, even though I don't do it as much anymore. I'm much more detached from BookTube at this point. Yes, number 4 is the vocal skills, presentation skills improvement, which is doing my vocal exercises every day. We do that with my physio exercises, which goes back to number 1. And then, yes, working on my presentation skills. And I think the idea of just trying to do practical things, whether that's a book review or whether that's, this is just a topic that has interested me. That has been a useful outlet for it, to make it practical. And also, hey, if I make a video a week and half of those or a quarter of those I actually put up on my BookTube channel, that's, for me, that's a fair number of videos, because I'm only looking at, like, if I could do 2 or 3 videos a month, I would be completely happy with that for my YouTube, my public YouTube channel versus this private monstrosity that I have here. Number 5 is reading, which is giving myself time to get lost in a good book. 2 large reading sessions first thing on the weekend, which I think for the most part I'm doing. I didn't actually do a very good job today, but something to keep in mind is just like, okay, going to have a big swatch of reading on the weekend, because that actually really recharges me and makes me feel a lot better about myself. It's a really good recharge. It makes it feel like a weekend for me. So that's something to really keep in mind. Number 6 is to be aware of my coworkers and try and be supportive with them, and also with my residents in there. That's a little bit like, okay, let's try and not focus on your own needs as much, or realize if you kind of relax and aren't as much of a control freak, things are a lot more pleasant and things go a lot more smoothly, actually. And that's something to really remind myself of personally, as well as professionally. The other one there is to be on time. well, I'm gonna have a week here now of probably using the car to get to work, so that'll be easier. But yes, to try and to definitely trying to get on. I still need to work on that. That's still something I struggle with, is getting to work on time. I'm always there around when I'm supposed to be, like it's like a minute or two, but I really prefer it was a couple of minutes earlier than that, and then I would be cooking with gas. Number 7 is looking for ways of living cheaper and making shrinking dollars stretch. Food, entertainment, clothes, physio, research. The budget stuff, maybe not so much. Definitely keeping on top of bills and everything has been going really well. This little magic box that I'm talking into is also a great reminder for pay this today, pay that today. And, you know, also having a steady paycheck. It makes that a lot easier too. Yeah. And the final one, which is a late entry, is my doodling. Well, actually, it's not late entry, but it's doodling / writing. The writing has just been a constant one for this whole month, this whole year. Actually, I've been actually kind of working on writing projects, and yeah, I've been enjoying that. I've had various ones. It's one of those things of having the time and making sure I have the time and I have the focus to complete my writing projects and to publish them, because I've got a lot going, but I haven't published a lot unless you go to my doodling, which yeah, I've been doing a thing for, I think it's like 111 I think days so far straight of a doodle a day, and that's do a doodle and publishing it on DA, and I've been keeping up with that. So that's been something that I've been able to get done and publish very little discrete little works. Also, in conjunction with my doodling, I've been doing writing what's like probably a short story or a novella, going along with a series of, I think it's going to be like 17 doodles, which all have segments of the story, probably first draft of the story, which what I'll do is once I'm finished this, I will collate that together, do a rewrite, and then at a future date, I will publish that probably on DA, maybe on LE as well, as a full story with the doodles as illustrations. So that'll be good. So but also I want to get back to working on Dufflepuff. I want to get back on editing together, getting the edit of Naked together, because I think that's actually pretty clean, but then I got caught up in other projects. This is the whole like, oh, doing something new, do something new. It's like I have to finish. Here, let me just pause. All right, so sorry, yeah, fire alarm going off because I'm cooking, and I'm not quite sure why. It's probably because we got all the windows shut, because our neighbor is got a really dirty, probably wood burning barbecue, except they're burning punky wood, basically rotten wood, and it's really gross out there and acrid. But hey, I'm sure it's very environmental because it's all natural. Yeah. So yeah. But yeah, so doodling and writing, trying to get them done. Get them done, especially the writing projects. The Dufflepuffs story is one that has just been on the slow burn for a while, and I've kept it going. I've actually managed to keep it going. I keep on pausing though to do other things, which isn't what I need to do. I need to. I think I'll this will be goals for next month, but yeah. So that's another deepening thing that I've definitely been working at. Okay, and then the other category, which is much shorter, is perspective. So getting out of myself and getting kind of a wider view of things. Number 1 is a very basic one, which is one nonfiction book every couple of months on a topic that isn't about me, to make me feel more aware of the wider world. I'm working my way very slowly through a nonfiction book on Sandy Hook shootings and the weird, sadly now very prevalent conspiracy theories and all that about it, and just the odd psychology of people. Oftentimes people who live on YouTube, that's one of their platforms and where a lot of their bad information has come from, or has kind of pulled them that way, which I don't think I take as like it's as much it's much as a magnifier and amplifier is I don't think it's necessarily a cause. I think weird thinking, I think wrong thinking, bizarre thoughts, feelings, actions were prevalent before social media. It's just like this is such a supercharged way of being able to spread and propagate and feed these kind of delusions, and these, frankly, kind of some of these people just seem mentally ill to me, just really fucked up, for whatever reason. This is filled, these conspiracy theories seem to have filled their whole, okay, I'm doing a whole review of it. But yeah, so that's one that's definitely taking me out of myself, because it's truly something that puzzles me about the world. And this is like one of these events, or very good example of these kind of events for the modern bizarre cult kind of magical thinking, weird. The fucking human beings are just weird creatures. The other thing is one good thing, and I was actually thinking that this is actually, that did present it to me this month, which is, I talked about it before, about coming upon an older fellow who had somehow collided with a drunken pedestrian on the local trestle bridge, and him going down and having concussion. And that was just a thing of being, it's funny because like I do think it as just like I was a decent human being who stuck around and called 911 and was helpful. But that does actually also kind of, and so, you know, that's wasn't me thinking, oh, I can tick off my goal here. That was just like, okay, I'm going to be I'm being a decent human being and sticking around and making sure that everything, I can do what I can do, which is very limited expertise. And yes, so I did that. And, yeah, that was my one good thing. So, and I mean, it was a fairly, I'm sure for that older fellow, that unfortunately that night could be a fairly major life event for him. So at least I did as much as I could to help, to hopefully mitigate, that kind of a situation. You know, I was just there and I called, just it's the minimum being a decent human being, but I think I'm going to call that the one good thing. So if I'm reviewing my stuff for this year and I beat myself up because I don't have anything like that on there, as a kind of a personal life, I think I also try and bring that energy to my work, and how I deal with residents. But one like I can talk about on camera here, that would be a prime example to hold up for this year. So yeah, that is my review of my 2023 themes goals for July. So that's great. That is good. I feel happy about that.